Hello, happy Sunday, happy Sunday circle. Today I am leaving you a recording. We have some people who are on vacation, some people who are busy this weekend, some people who have life happening. And so today I have prepared for you a little meditation followed by some journaling prompts, like always. And you can listen to this whenever you want. So, whenever you're ready, find a comfortable position, pause the video if you need to get settled, either seated or lying down. Get comfortable. And once you're there, start to take some deeper breaths with your body. Deeper breaths into your body. Closing your eyes. And begin to notice the rise and fall of your chest, of your belly. Tuning in a little more deeply. Noticing how you feel. And notice how the body feels today. Letting go of whatever you're moving through in your day, letting your Sunday or whatever day you're watching this fall away. Just for now, be here with your breath, with your body. And together, I want us to take 3 deep breaths. So on your next inhale, begin to breathe in through your nose. Feel your belly rise, feel your chest rise, feel your ribs expand. Open mouth, exhale, release. 2 more times. Deep breath in from the very bottom of your lungs at your diaphragm. Fill up your lower chest, your upper chest, all the way up to your collarbones. Feel that expansion. Open mouth, sigh, exhale, release. Last time. A long, slow, deep breath in. The deepest breath you've taken all day. Open mouth, exhale, release. Letting something go with that last exhale. And with your eyes still closed, I want you to imagine a
Hello?
glowing orb.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. Go ahead.
We've got a new visitor. Imagine a glowing orb at the crown of your head. And a line that slices down through the middle of your body. Finding your literal center. Take a deep breath in on your next inhale. Feeling this imaginary globe inflate at your head. And as you exhale, allow this glowing orb to move down your spine, through the entire slice in your body, down to the tail of your spine. And keep that moving. With every inhale, let this glowing orb now go from the spine, the bottom of your spine, up through your spinal column, all the way up to your head. Inhaling up to the crown of the head, and on your next inhale, the orb moves down. Continuing with the visualization of this orb moving through your center. Your center being from the tail spine, the root of your spine, up into the crown of your head. And keeping your breath going, counting if you need to. Inhaling up to the crown of the head. Exhaling down to the root of your spine. seeing if you can turn your focus inwards towards this column, towards the center of your being. See if you can let go of the outside world a little bit more as you're breathing here. Let's do 2 more breath cycles. Deep inhale, the orb moves up to the crown of the head. Deep exhale, feel it move through your entire body, down the head, down the neck, down the chest, through the whole torso, into your hips, and down to the tail of your spine. Inhaling up through the hips, through the torso, through your neck, out of your head, all the way to the crown. And staying here, if you'd like to keep going with this imaginary elevator moving through the column of our spine, being in our center. And notice the thoughts that arise, the conversations that arise in your head. And I want us to do a practice of tuning into our own voice, our own inner knowing, our own gut instinct, our own intuition. If you'd like to keep with the visualization of breathing with the orb, you can. But with your eyes closed and maybe placing one hand on your chest, on your heart, one hand on your belly, I want you to answer the following yes or no questions with either a a yes, or an a no. So, to begin, are your hands touching your body? Or mm-mm? Are you sitting down? Are you inside? Is there a fan on? Can you hear noise outside your house? Do you feel distracted? Are your hands relaxed? Do you have other thoughts on your mind that aren't what we're talking about right now? Do you need a drink of water? Are you hungry? Are you excited about what you're going to do later? Are you tired? Are you mad? Are you happy? Do you feel at peace? Sitting with these answers just for a moment, notice how that felt. Some questions may be harder or easier than others. But see if you can notice that connection between the answers to the easy questions, right? Like, are you sitting down? Easy for someone else to answer if they were looking at you, versus the answer of the question about your feelings, about your opinions. See if you can tune into that same level of truth, inner knowing, inner intuition, with the easy questions, as well with the more introspective questions. And closing out this practice, let's take 3 more deep breaths together. Deep breath in. Let's take another extra sip in, sharp inhale. Open mouth, exhale, sigh and release. Again, 2 more times. Deep breath in, sharp inhale. Open mouth, exhale, release. Deep breath in, second inhale. Open mouth, sigh and release. Bringing your hands back to the chest and the belly, if you want. Taking a moment to notice how you feel. Taking another moment to reflect on that practice. If anything shifted for you, if anything came up, you had an aha moment or any takeaway. Just taking a moment to reflect on that. And as you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe roll out your wrists and ankles. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Rock your head side to side. Coming back into the body, back into this moment here. Staying in that stillness as long as you need. Pause this recording if you'd like. And whenever you're ready, I want us to begin our journal practice. To grab a paper, a pen, something to write on, something to write with. And I have 3 journal prompts for you. Coming back to that space, that centered space we just practiced, I want you to sit in that space, if you're able to, while you answer these questions. The first one being, what are you most afraid of never having? Make a bullet point list if that's easiest. Do a free write if that's easiest. First thing that comes to your mind. Not the things necessarily that you're thinking about, but as you start writing, see if there's something that you subtly feel that wants to come out through your pen. What are you most afraid of never having? So pause this. Take as much time as you need to write. And when you're ready, moving on to the next question. What are you most afraid of never being, of never becoming? Again, tuning back into that more centered space that we just practiced. Seeing if you can walk in a little bit deeper to that inner knowing, that inner trust, that inner intuition that we maybe accessed a little bit with our breathwork practice. What are you most afraid of never being or never becoming? So pause this recording and take a few minutes to write. Free writing, brainstorming, bullet pointing, whatever comes up. And when you're ready to move on, last question. What are you most afraid of never receiving? This could be receiving from yourself, from someone you love, from your community, from the world around you, from an anonymous anything. What are you most afraid of never receiving? Pause this recording and write what comes to mind. Write what comes to the surface. So after you've taken the time to write through these things, I want you to look back at your answers and see if there were any hard truths, surprising truths, maybe unsurprising truths. But what did you uncover here? Is there an overarching theme? Is there an underlying theme? Is there something that feels like, oh yeah, that feels like something I'm most afraid of never having, being, becoming, receiving? And I want us to now find a way to rewire these fears by creating an affirmation, an intention, a goal to believe in them not becoming true, to believe that the fears do not come true, to believe in the opposite happening. For example, I am creating a life. Actually, let me back up here. Let me use some of my own examples so that this makes a little more sense. Let's see. Let's see. A core theme in what I was writing about when I did these prompts myself the other day was about me having a breakthrough around my creative endeavors, my creative business, my creative success. Groups like these, me writing a book, me sharing my publications every week, my podcast, the workshops that I do, my workshops around journaling, around breath work, around meditation, on my intention on building community. If one of my answers to these journal prompts was this never coming to fruition, and I know we're literally sitting in a workshop related to these things right now, for the purpose of this example, if one of my biggest fears was this never becoming a community, this community never growing, and it's just me talking to a screen every day. If I focus on it's just going to be me talking to a screen every day, how am I supposed to find ways to connect with community? Opening my heart to more people is how I build community, and vice versa. People opening their hearts back to me is how they're building their community and how I receive being in community with them. So let's see. I am claiming a life. I'm building a breakthrough around my creative business success so that I will call in a community of thousands of like-minded people who are ready to do this work of mindful breathing, mindful meditation, mindful movement, mindful writing, so that they can show up more centered, more clear, more peaceful in their daily life. And that will ripple out into the communities around them that I'm not a part of at all. I want us all to be able to build the capacity to tune into our center more, so that this helps shape the communities we are in, that helps shape the future of the world that we're all building. Sometimes from where I'm sitting, the world feels like it is very destabilized. The systems that are currently in place for the masses are not to serve most of us. And it is up to us, the most of us, to rebuild this collective, make it work for us, the people. Let's see, I don't know if that was a clear example for this, but coming back to the reflection of the prompts, how can we look at the fears that you wrote? What are you most afraid of never having, of never being, of never becoming, of never receiving? How do we create it into an intention, an affirmation? I am having a breakthrough around my ability to hold space for community so that I can call in more like-minded people into our circle and that we can create a powerful collective of people wanting to make change. What's your version of this? I'm creating what? I'm building what? I'm calling it a life of what? And you can make multiple affirmations. And as you're reflecting on what your affirmation looks like, on what your intention looks like, I want us to also sit with the idea of how we can step into being leaders of our own life a little bit more, holding ourselves more accountable to the lives that we want, the lives that we ask for. If we are looking for increased clarity, if we are looking for increased inner peace, if we are looking for community, if we are looking for more quiet in our life, we must be the ones to take the first step to do that. First, we have to name that we want it, right? And then we have to take tiny little baby steps in that direction in order to see if we can find it, to see where we can find it. This will involve our own introspection, whatever personal development stuff that helps us, reading a book, going to a workshop, finding someone online who inspires you, creating boundaries, holding yourself to the boundaries that you created for yourself. Are you going to uphold them? Or are you going to create it in your mind and then tell no one? Empowering yourself, allowing yourself to be more empowered when you say, being on social media, here's one for me. This is me talking to myself. Being on social media makes me feel unstable, makes me feel a little crazy. I have limited my social media apps to 30 minutes a day. I have my screen time off from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. the next day. 12 whole hours, I don't look at a screen. Only 30 minutes a day, I'm allowed on social media apps. I did that after weeks of saying, I don't like how Instagram makes me feel. There's too many robots, there's too many people yelling at each other and no one's listening. We're not creating anything. We're just screaming into a void of divisiveness, is what my perspective of my side of the internet felt like, right? And so I had to hold myself accountable and be like, listen, I need to make a boundary and I have to uphold it. Thank goodness these phones have these settings on there where I can just turn it on. And I do have to not click ignore limit. I have to be like, okay, we reached 30 minutes, no more for today. I have to follow through on it. And every time I follow through, every time I listen to the it's 9 p.m., no more screens, you already spent 30 minutes, no more Instagram. Every time I follow through on something that I committed to, that builds my own inner trust. That strengthens my insides. That makes me feel more empowered because I'm listening to myself, my own inner wisdom. I'm following it. Okay, so I will leave you with that. Thank you for listening to my ramblings. I hope this last part made sense. If you're watching this afterwards and you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Feel free to send me a direct message. I'm happy to talk you through this a little bit. I would love to hear, if you're willing to share, whatever intention that you set, whatever affirmation that you set, whatever breakthrough you're working on. What are you creating? What are you calling in? What are you building in your life? And holding that within ourselves in a gentle way. We don't just get our goals overnight, right? We have to take tiny action steps. And so while I was talking about holding ourselves accountable, I don't mean that that's us bullying ourselves, that's us being too hard on ourselves, that's being overcritical on ourselves. I'm pretty positive most of us don't need any more of that. So just choosing again each and every day and choosing the next step, if that feels hard, choosing something simple and easy to fulfill so you can build that own inner trust, self-trust in a way that's simple and easy because we deserve lives that are simple and easy. I know, maybe that's not the reality of the planet we're living on, but we deserve to feel good. And I think that starts with us choosing certain things for ourselves too, and collecting, building communities around us that help us find our way there. Okay, happy Sunday. Thank you for breathing with me. Thank you for writing with me. Thank you for practicing with me. Thank you for entertaining this conversation of thinking just a little bit deeper as we introspect. I will see you next week. Bye for now.